Hi guys, today in this video I'm reviewing the Kingston DataTraveler 70 Type-C USB flash drive. The DataTraveler 70 is Kingston's value drive, and as such it's currently one of the cheapest USB-C flash drives available on the market. It features a USB 3.2 Gen 1 interface, which, if you're not familiar with the terminology, is actually the same as USB 3.1 Gen 1, which itself is the same as USB 3.0. It has a Type-C connector, so it's usable on modern devices like laptops, phones and tablets with USB-C. It's available in three sizes, 32GB, 64GB and 128GB, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. The drive is made from plastic, which does feel quite sturdy, but it's also unnecessarily bulky at more than twice the width of the USB-C connector. The size means that on the MacBook Pro or the Dell XPS 13, for example, which have the USB-C ports close together, you can't have two of these drives plugged in side by side because of the width. Another minor issue is that you can't attach the cap to the other end of a drive when it's in use, which means it's probably inevitable that the cap will be lost at some point. As with the DataTraveler 50 I reviewed in a previous video, there's no mention of the speed of this drive on Kingston's website, nor on the drive datasheet, apart from a vague reference to USB 3.2 Gen 1 speeds, which really means nothing. So to test the drive, I plugged it into the USB-C port on a 2016 12-inch MacBook and ran Blackmagic disk speed test. The write speed performance was nothing short of atrocious, peaking at around 9 megabytes per second before dropping down to around 6 or 7. The read speed, meanwhile, was more than acceptable at around 118 megabytes per second. Moving on to AJA system test, the write speed started off okay at around 27 megabytes per second, but then very quickly dropped down to finish on an average of 12. Looking at the speed over time when transferring a 1 gigabyte file, the write speed starts off at over 25, but then drops to around 10 after only around 200 megabytes of data has been transferred. To test the drive under Windows 10, I plugged it into my Dell XPS 13 and ran Crystal DiskMark. Sequential read speeds were on a par with the drive under macOS, and sequential write speeds were much better, peaking at around 30 megabytes per second. The 4K random write speed, however, was absolutely terrible at just 0.01 megabytes per second. I thought it might be interesting to compare this drive to my old USB 2.0 SanDisk Cruiser Blade, released all the way back in 2013. Running the same Blackmagic disk speed test benchmark on the same computer, the DataTraveler 70 can't even keep up with the write speed of the 7-year-old USB 2 drive, which is pretty disappointing. I realise that the DT70 is a budget drive, but I still think it's pretty disingenuous to claim USB 3.2 speeds in sales literature when the drive can't even match a USB 2 drive from 2013. Unfortunately, due to the write performance, I really can't recommend this drive for anything other than the basic transfer of small files between devices. I found it frustratingly slow to work with. Copying files to it takes an eternity, and sometimes even just ejecting the drive would take 10 to 15 seconds. If you're looking for a good low-cost USB-C flash drive, then I'd recommend giving the DT70 a miss and buying the SanDisk Ultra USB-C drive instead. That drive is almost 4 years old now, but has a much nicer, more compact sliding design, much faster speeds, and only costs a few dollars more for the same capacity. That's it for this video, thanks for watching.